3 years before we retired, I almost talked myself out of it. And it wasn't because the math didn't work, it was because I was scared. And if you've ever said to yourself, I wish I could retire early, but you already know the exact feeling that I'm talking about.
And we hear this phrase every single day from friends, family, and even from neighbors. And every time it's one of the same 6 fears underneath it. So today we're going to walk through all 6 of those fears and exactly how we work through each one. And stick around because number 4 is the one that almost changed our whole plan. Let's start with the one that people bring up more than any other. How do I handle healthcare when you retire early? And this is a big question because most people, like us, our health insurance was covered through our work, so we didn't have to pay the full premium. If you go look at buying that insurance by yourself, it is a huge expense, but you actually have more options than you think.
That's right. And for us, the ACA marketplace was the right fit. Now, by managing our income in early retirement, we're actually able to control the subsidies to keep our costs manageable. But that's far from the only path available to people out there.
You can also have something like part-time or seasonal work. There are companies like Starbucks, UPS, and Costco that offer full health benefits for even part-time hours. Some early retirees take a casual job just for this reason alone. And then there's health savings accounts. So if you have a high deductible health plan while working, maxing out an HSA builds a tax-free medical fund for retirement. And also health sharing ministries or direct primary care. Some people pair health sharing programs or DPC membership with a high deductible safety net policy. The key is realizing that healthcare isn't a roadblock. It's a budget line item for you to plan for, same as everything else.
Fear number 2, we have too much debt. The car payments, mortgages, student loans, it's the standard American way of life. And if you're carrying heavy debt, early retirement can feel impossible. And we totally get it. We carried regular debt as well, including student loans. But once we decided we wanted our freedom before our mid-50s, we got aggressive and we did something about it.
We made massive cuts. I picked up odd jobs and extra hours at work. It wasn't always easy or fun, but paying off everything, our mortgage, our car, and all of it, was our exact launchpad into early retirement. Now, if debt is what's holding you back, start small this week. Cut one non-essential. Throw that extra at your principal and ask yourself honestly, what matters more? Keeping up with lifestyle inflation or buying back your time and your freedom?
Fear number 3, I don't have enough saved. Now, this one goes hand in hand with debt. People assume that you need millions of dollars sitting around in accounts before you can stop working. But here's the honest truth. There's more than one way to get you there. You actually have 2 levers. Now, you can make more money or you could spend less. And if you're determined, like Melanie and I are, we actually did both.
Now, to fix this fear, you have to know your number. What does it actually cost you to cover your life for 1 year? And how many years do you need to bridge before Social Security or any retirement accounts kick in? And remember that a savings account alone won't get you there. You have to invest your money so it works harder than you do. And once you know your target number, then the noise and the fear disappear.
Number 4, what if it doesn't work? What if the market crashes? What if I get bored? What if the whole thing falls apart? Honestly, this is where I was and something I talked about all the time with Melanie. And before we took the leap, it was real for me. I was afraid of failing and I was afraid that it just wouldn't work. And I actually got myself stuck in that just one more year loop for about 3 years.
But here's the best part about retiring early, is that it isn't a one-way door. So if things don't work out financially, or maybe you realize that you miss working and it's best for your well-being to go back, you can do it. There's no rules against that. And going back doesn't really mean that you're returning to the same soul-crushing job that you left. It could be a low stress or passion project, maybe flexible seasonal work. You have a safety net because you built options into your plan, but you'll never know what's on the other side if you don't try.
Fear number 5, we have kids. Now, raising kids isn't cheap, and the big milestones like cars and college and those crazy expensive hobbies scare a lot of parents off of the path entirely. Now, Melanie and I raised our 2 children, and we did this while we were planning our exit strategy, so we know this balancing act firsthand.
Now, for us, it came down to finding a middle ground that taught life lessons without draining our retirement funds. So, for example, the first one is vehicles. We didn't buy each of our kids their own car. Keith had a car that he drove to work every day, and then the kids and I had a rideshare program, and we shared that car between the 3 of us. We did expect them to cover the gas and help out with routine maintenance. And once they graduated high school, buying a car of their own was on them. Then there's college. Our kids took out student loans to cover most of their college tuition, and whatever was left over, we would help pay for, which sometimes was about 50-50. Our kids also stayed at home during college, so there was no dorm or apartment payments that we had to cover as well. If they wanted to live on their own, that was totally up to them, but they had to pay their own bill. Now, I know that not every parent will choose that exact path, and that's totally fine. But for us, it taught our kids responsibility and independence while keeping our timeline intact.
Fear number 6, I don't make enough money. Now, I get it. This is a genuine concern, but since Melanie and I retired, I've talked to a number of people who make 6 figures, and they actually told me that they don't think they make enough to retire early. Now, during our conversation, I shared some numbers with them about us, and when I told them what we actually earned during our working years, it was often less than what they were making. Early retirement isn't always about how much you make. It's the gap between what you spend and what you keep, and high earners fall into this spending trap just as easily as anyone else. So what you need to do is live below your means, track your expenses, and prioritize freedom over more stuff. And once you do that, the income number matters a lot less than people think.
Now, facing these fears isn't about ignoring the risk. It's about building a plan for it. Early retirement isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's a series of small, intentional choices made over and over. So here's what I would ask you to do. Pick one of the fears from this list, and just one, and take a single step on it this week. Maybe audit your expenses, calculate your gap number, or look into one healthcare option, because small steps add up faster than you think. Let us know in the comments below, which of these 6 fears is the biggest one standing between you and your early retirement right now? And if this has helped you, please consider subscribing. We post real numbers and real decisions from our own early retirement every week. If you want to learn more about healthcare after you retire, check out our ACA series right here. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.